Welcome back to AI Wisdom. Today's debate is one of the biggest rivalries in sports history. Lionel Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo. Who is the true GOAT? Representing the pro-Messi side, we have ChatGPT, who will argue that Messi's artistry, consistency, and World Cup triumph make him the greatest footballer of all time. On the pro-Ronaldo side, we have Gemini, who will argue that Ronaldo's adaptability, dominance in multiple leagues, and Champions League heroics prove he is the GOAT. The debate will follow this format: opening statements, then rebuttals, then Crossfire Q&A, and finally closing statements. Let's get started with the opening statements. ChatGPT, the floor is yours.
Thank you. When we talk about greatness in football, we're not just talking about numbers. We're talking about magic, consistency, and the ability to redefine what's possible on the pitch. Lionel Messi embodies all of this. Statistically, Messi has set records that may never be broken. The most goals in a calendar year, 91 in 2012, 8 Ballon d'Or awards, the most ever, and the only player in history to score in every round of the Champions League in a single season. Beyond goals, his playmaking is unrivaled. Messi isn't just a scorer. He's a creator. He leads and assists at both club and international levels, proving his impact goes far beyond finishing. But greatness isn't just about stats. It's about moments. From weaving through defenders at Barcelona to delivering Argentina its long-awaited World Cup in 2022, Messi has consistently risen to football's biggest stages with artistry and brilliance. His style of play is unique. He makes the extraordinary look effortless. Cristiano Ronaldo is a phenomenal athlete and one of the best finishers ever, but Messi's combination of skill, vision, and impact on the game makes him the true GOAT. He's not just a player. He's the closest thing football has to poetry in motion.
Thank you, ChatGPT. It's an honor to debate with you on this topic. While you've made a compelling case for Lionel Messi, I must respectfully disagree. When we talk about the GOAT, we must consider not just skill and artistry, but also discipline, ambition, and the ability to dominate different leagues and cultures. That's where Cristiano Ronaldo truly stands alone. While Messi's brilliance is undeniable, his success has largely been confined to one system and one club, Barcelona, for the majority of his career. Ronaldo, on the other hand, has proven his dominance across 4 of the top 5 European leagues: the Premier League with Manchester United, La Liga with Real Madrid, Serie A with Juventus, and even a brief but impactful stint back in England. This adaptability and success in diverse environments speaks volumes about his work ethic and versatility. You mentioned statistics, and let's not forget Ronaldo's incredible records. He is the all-time leading goal scorer in men's international football, a testament to his relentless dedication to his country. He is also the all-time top scorer in the UEFA Champions League, the most elite club competition in the world. He has won this trophy with 2 different clubs, a feat Messi cannot claim. Beyond the numbers, Ronaldo is the ultimate competitor. He transformed himself from a skinny winger into a powerhouse goal-scoring machine. This evolution is a direct result of his unparalleled drive and self-improvement. He has single-handedly elevated every team he's played for through sheer will and leadership. His headers are legendary, his free kicks iconic, and his clutch performances on the biggest stages are the stuff of legend. While Messi may be the closest thing football has to poetry in motion, Ronaldo is the embodiment of football as a test of will and an ultimate pursuit of excellence. He's not just an artist. He's a warrior who has conquered every battlefield he's stepped onto. For that reason, Cristiano Ronaldo is the true GOAT.
Thank you both for your opening statements. We now move into the rebuttal phase. In this phase, each debater will directly respond to the arguments presented by their opponent, highlighting strengths and weaknesses. ChatGPT, as the pro-Israel debater, may begin the rebuttals. Gemini will follow with its rebuttal.
Thank you, Gemini. You've highlighted Ronaldo's adaptability and his impressive records, and I won't dispute his greatness. But being the GOAT isn't about collecting stamps in different leagues. It's about who elevated the game to a higher level. You argue that Messi stayed in one system too long, but this overlooks the fact that he defined that system. Barcelona's tiki-taka dominance was possible because of Messi's vision and execution. Without him, that era of football would not exist as we know it. And when critics claimed he couldn't replicate it elsewhere, he proved them wrong, winning a Copa America with Argentina, then leading them to the ultimate prize, the 2022 World Cup. That triumph cemented his legacy globally, not just at Barcelona. As for Ronaldo's international record, yes, he's the top scorer. But Messi's Copa America and World Cup wins, along with his Golden Ball and historic performances, show he delivers when it matters most, not just in goals, but in complete influence on the pitch. He's the heartbeat of every team he plays for. Ronaldo's evolution is impressive, but it came with specialization. He became primarily a goal machine. Messi, however, has been everything: scorer, playmaker, dribbler, creator. He leads both in goals and assists. That dual mastery is something Ronaldo has never matched. So while Ronaldo is a warrior who thrives on willpower and discipline, Messi is a rare genius who bends the game itself. Greatness is not only about adapting to environments, it's about transcending them. And that's why Messi remains the true GOAT.
ChatGPT, your points on Messi's impact on Barcelona and his international success are well made. But let's not confuse defining a system with proving true greatness. Messi didn't just play in a system. He was a product of it, nurtured from a young age within a singular football philosophy. His success was, for a long time, inextricably linked to that specific environment. Ronaldo, on the other hand, is a force of nature who created success wherever he went. You mentioned that being the GOAT isn't about collecting stamps in different leagues, but it absolutely is a crucial part of the debate. It speaks to a player's ability to adapt, to overcome new challenges, and to prove their dominance against different styles of play and competition. Ronaldo didn't just win trophies in England, Spain, and Italy. He was the best player in those leagues, often winning the Golden Boot and becoming the face of his respective clubs. This is a level of proven versatility that Messi simply doesn't have. Regarding international success, while Messi's World Cup win is a monumental achievement, we must look at the bigger picture. Ronaldo led Portugal to two major international trophies, the UEFA European Championship in 2016 and the UEFA Nations League in 2019. Messi, for all his talent, had to wait until the twilight of his career, with a deeply talented supporting cast, to finally secure a major international title. Ronaldo did it with a Portugal side that was often considered the underdog. Finally, you call Ronaldo a goal machine, and Messi a dual master. While Messi's playmaking is exceptional, Ronaldo's evolution from a tricky winger to a lethal striker shows a deliberate choice to maximize his impact and become the most effective player possible. His goals are not just numbers. They are game-winning moments in finals, crucial league deciders, and record-breaking performances that have defined entire seasons. Ronaldo's greatness lies in his relentless pursuit of excellence and his ability to bend any game to his will, not through artistry, but through sheer force and an unshakable belief that he can win. That, in my opinion, is a far more powerful and convincing argument for the greatest of all time.
Gemini, I respect the case you're making for Ronaldo's versatility, but let's address a few points directly. First, the idea that Messi was a product of a system is misleading. Yes, Barcelona nurtured him, but he wasn't just a cog in a machine. He was the engine. Xavi and Iniesta were world-class. But without Messi, Barcelona doesn't dominate Europe the way it did. And when he left that system, he still thrived, winning Ligue 1 in France, dominating in MLS, and most importantly, carrying Argentina to the Copa America and World Cup. That's not being a product of one environment. That's proving universal greatness. Second, on adaptability, Ronaldo conquered multiple leagues, no doubt. But Messi faced the same defenders Ronaldo did in La Liga, year after year, and still outperformed him statistically, in goals, assists, chances created, and dribbles. Dominating the toughest league in the world for over a decade is not less impressive than moving clubs. Stability and consistency at the very highest level is its own form of greatness. Third, international success. You frame Ronaldo's Euros win as superior, but let's remember, he left the 2016 final injured at halftime. Portugal won that match largely without him on the pitch. Messi, on the other hand, was decisive for Argentina in the 2021 Copa America and especially in the 2022 World Cup, scoring in every knockout round, delivering the final, and winning the Golden Ball. He didn't just win, he owned the stage. Finally, Ronaldo's evolution into a pure goal scorer was effective, but it narrowed his game. Messi has always been multidimensional. He can score, assist, dribble, control tempo, drop deep, or finish in the box. His game has layers Ronaldo never matched. So yes, Ronaldo is the ultimate competitor, but Messi is the ultimate footballer. His blend of consistency, artistry, and leadership on the biggest stages is what makes him the true GOAT.
Thank you, ChatGPT. Your arguments are passionate, but I believe they rely on a romanticized view of Messi's career rather than the full picture of what it takes to be the greatest. You claim Messi was the engine of Barcelona, not a cog. But what happens when that engine is taken out of its specialized vehicle? His time in France showed flashes of brilliance, but he was far from the dominant game-defining force he was in Spain. And while he's now excelling in MLS, let's be realistic. That's a different level of competition entirely. Ronaldo didn't just play in different leagues. He conquered them. He won the league title in England, Spain, and Italy, a feat no other player in history has achieved. He was the top scorer in the Premier League and La Liga and led Juventus to a Serie A title. This isn't just about collecting stamps. It's about proving you can adapt your game and excel against the very best, on different continents, and with different teammates. You point to Messi's World Cup win as a decisive factor, and it was a magnificent achievement. But to suggest Ronaldo's Euro 2016 victory is somehow less meaningful because he was injured is a disservice to his immense contribution. He was the leader of that team, scoring 3 goals and providing 2 assists to get them to the final. Even from the sidelines, his leadership and passion were evident, pushing his team to victory. He brought his nation a major trophy, a feat Messi couldn't replicate until his late 30s with a team that many considered a top favorite. You state that Ronaldo's game narrowed, but I would argue it became more efficient. He understood that his most valuable contribution was goals, and he became the best in history at delivering them. He is the all-time top scorer in men's international football and the all-time top scorer in the Champions League, the 2 most important competitions in the world. He has a greater number of Champions League titles and more international goals. While Messi's all-around play is masterful, Ronaldo's singular focus and sheer will have led to a level of goal-scoring dominance that is unmatched. He has been the consistent goal threat in every team he's played for, and that is what wins trophies. You call Messi the ultimate footballer, but football is a game of goals, and no one has ever been better at scoring them on the biggest stages and across the most competitive leagues than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Excellent points from both sides. Now we move into one of the most exciting parts of the debate, the Crossfire round. Here's how it works. ChatGPT and Gemini will take turns asking each other direct questions and responding. The goal here is to put pressure on each other's arguments and see who stands firm. We will begin with Gemini asking the first question. ChatGPT will respond, followed by Gemini's next question, and so on.
ChatGPT, what makes a player who spent the majority of his career in one league and one system, no matter how dominant, a more complete or greater player than someone who proved they could win league titles and major awards in 3 different countries and 4 distinct football cultures?
Great question. But here's the key. Greatness isn't just about showing you can fit into multiple teams. It's about being so good that an entire system is built around you, and you dominate the best league in the world for over a decade. Messi didn't need to prove himself in 4 leagues because every player, coach, and fan already knew La Liga during the Messi era was the epicenter of football, and he was its undisputed king. He outscored, out-assisted, and outperformed Ronaldo year after year in the same league against the same defenses. That's not comfort. That's supremacy. And when he stepped outside that system, he won League One, delivered for PSG in the Champions League, and then elevated Argentina to Copa America and World Cup glory. Those are achievements in different contexts, not just league medals, but the very highest prizes in sport. So to your question, Messi isn't great because he stayed in one system. He's great because no matter the system, the stage, or the stakes, he delivered. That's a more complete greatness than simply proving you can adapt. Messi didn't adapt to greatness. Greatness adapted to him.
Your response, ChatGPT, only reinforces my point. You're saying Messi is so great that a system had to be built around him. But what happens when you're on a team that isn't built around you, and you still have to deliver? Ronaldo's career is a testament to that. He didn't wait for the team to adapt to him. He adapted to the team's needs and became a dominant force through sheer force of will, whether as a winger or a center forward. This leads me to my next question. You bring up Messi's performance against Ronaldo in La Liga as proof of his supremacy, but what about the Champions League, the ultimate measure of club dominance? Ronaldo not only has more Champions League titles but also holds the all-time record for goals in the competition, proving that his greatness extends beyond a single domestic league. How is Messi's domestic dominance a more powerful argument than Ronaldo's supremacy on the biggest stage of club football?
Ronaldo's Champions League record is extraordinary, no doubt. But let's put it in context. Messi is the second all-time scorer in the competition, right behind Ronaldo, and did it while being more than just a scorer. He created, assisted, and dictated play against the toughest opponents in Europe. Yes, Ronaldo has more Champions League titles, but Messi has 4 of them, including 2 finals where he scored against Manchester United and was a decisive factor. And let's not forget, Messi didn't just win. He defined Barcelona's dominance in Europe. The 2009 and 2011 Champions League wins aren't remembered as Ronaldo's Real Madrid moments. They're remembered as Messi's masterclasses. Domestic dominance matters because it's sustained greatness. The Champions League is huge, but it's a handful of matches each season. Over 15 years in La Liga, Messi consistently outperformed Ronaldo in goals, assists, dribbles, and chances created. That's every week, against every style of defense, in the world's most competitive footballing era. So while Ronaldo thrived in Champions League spotlight, Messi combined European brilliance with unmatched domestic supremacy, proving he wasn't just the best in clutch moments, but the best every single day. That's a higher bar for greatness.
While I acknowledge that Messi is a fantastic player in the Champions League, your argument highlights his role as a creator and a part of a collective. That's a great role to play, but it's not the mark of a player who can single-handedly take over a game and win it for his team. Ronaldo's Champions League success isn't just about his goals. It's about his clutch performances. He's the only player to score in 3 Champions League finals. He's also the only one to score in 11 consecutive Champions League matches. He's been the top scorer in the competition a record 7 times. You claim domestic dominance is a higher bar for greatness. Completely disagree. A league title is won over 38 games. The Champions League, however, is a knockout competition where one moment of magic or a single mistake can end your season. To consistently perform under that kind of pressure, to be the leading scorer, and to win it 5 times is a far more difficult and impressive feat. It's the ultimate test of a player's ability to perform when the stakes are highest. This brings me to my next point. You mentioned that Messi's success with Argentina shows his greatness outside of the Barcelona system. But how do you reconcile his long history of international disappointment, with 4 major finals lost, before finally winning a Copa America and a World Cup with a team filled with stars, compared to Ronaldo's consistent leadership and success with a less talented Portugal team that won 2 major international trophies?
You're right. Ronaldo's Champions League consistency under pressure is remarkable. No argument there. But let's not pretend Messi didn't also deliver in the UCL. He has scored in 2 finals, including that unforgettable header against Manchester United in 2009, and was man of the match in multiple knockout rounds. His ability to control entire games, not just finish them, is why Barcelona's golden era is remembered as the Messi era. Ronaldo has the clutch goals, but Messi shaped the matches themselves. On the international stage, yes, Messi's road was filled with heartbreak, but isn't that part of what makes his eventual triumphs even more meaningful? He carried Argentina to multiple finals, 2014 World Cup, 2015, and 2016 Copa America, often as their standout player. Those weren't failures of Messi. They were failures of margins. And when he finally won, he did it back-to-back. Copa America 2021, Finalissima 2022, and the World Cup 2022, where he was a defining player of the tournament. As for Ronaldo, Portugal's Euro 2016 was historic, but let's be clear. He was subbed out injured in the final. His leadership mattered, yes, but it was Eder's goal that sealed the win. In contrast, Messi played and dominated in his World Cup final, scoring twice and converting his penalty in the shootout. So if we're comparing legacies, Ronaldo has the clutch moments in 2 international trophies. Messi has the ultimate prize in football, a World Cup, plus Copa America and Finalissima. When it comes to international greatness, Messi's story is one of perseverance, heartbreak, and finally, undisputed triumph. That arc is far more legendary. Gemini, you've emphasized Ronaldo's adaptability across leagues as proof of his superiority. But adaptability alone doesn't equal greatness. Messi didn't need to change clubs to prove himself. The best players in the world came to La Liga to compete against him, and for over a decade, he consistently outperformed Ronaldo in goals, assists, and overall impact during their head-to-head era. So my question is this. If Ronaldo's claim to greatness rests so heavily on adaptability, how do you explain the fact that when both were in the same league, facing the same defenses in their primes, Messi consistently outperformed him statistically and lifted more domestic titles with Barcelona? Doesn't that suggest Messi was simply the superior player where it mattered most? In direct competition?
That's a great question, ChatGPT, and it goes to the heart of the debate. But you're framing direct competition too narrowly. The truth is, La Liga was only one part of their rivalry. Yes, Messi put up incredible domestic numbers, and I won't deny his statistical prowess. He was the product of a system meticulously built to his strengths, with legendary midfielders like Xavi and Iniesta feeding him. He was consistently the focal point, the system's engine. Ronaldo, on the other hand, was an absolute force of nature who thrived whether the system was built for him or not. His role at Real Madrid evolved from a blistering winger to a central striker. He had to adapt, and he did, putting up monumental numbers while competing in the same league. But the true measure of greatness isn't just about domestic titles. It's about who dominates when it matters most, on the grandest stage of club football, the Champions League. While Messi might have won more league titles during their time in Spain, Ronaldo's record in the Champions League is unparalleled. He won 4 Champions League titles with Real Madrid, 2 of which were back-to-back, and he was the top scorer in the competition a record 7 times. He didn't just win. He was the difference maker. He scored in multiple finals, delivered hat-tricks in critical knockout stages, and proved his mental fortitude in the do-or-die moments that define a season. So, while Messi might have had the statistical edge in domestic consistency, Ronaldo's supremacy in the Champions League, the pinnacle of club football, is the definitive tiebreaker. He didn't just compete against the best. He conquered them time and time again. That's a higher form of direct competition than any domestic league.
Gemini, you've highlighted Ronaldo's Champions League dominance as the ultimate measure of greatness, but football isn't only about knockout competitions. It's also about consistency across entire seasons. Messi not only matched Ronaldo in the Champions League with 4 titles of his own, but he also has more total goals plus assists in the competition. On top of that, Messi's domestic dominance isn't just stat padding in the system. He holds records for the most goals in a calendar year, the most league goals in a single season, and more league titles than Ronaldo. So my question is, if Ronaldo's case rests on the Champions League alone, how can we overlook the fact that Messi combines elite European success and unprecedented domestic dominance, making him a more complete and consistent player across all competitions?
The Champions League isn't the sole basis for my argument, but it is the strongest evidence of Ronaldo's greatness. You claim Messi's domestic dominance makes him a more complete player, but I see it as evidence of his inability to replicate his success outside of a single system. That's a critical difference. While Messi has more domestic titles, Ronaldo has conquered 3 different top-tier European leagues. This isn't just a matter of adaptability. It's a testament to his versatility and mental fortitude. A player who can be the top scorer and the face of a club in England, Spain, and Italy is demonstrating a level of all-around excellence that Messi, for all his talent, has never proven. He has never had to carry a team from one cultural and tactical environment to the next and still dominate. You've pointed out Messi's 4 Champions League titles, but let's be honest. In 2 of those victories, 2006 and 2009, he was not the primary goalscorer. He was an important part of the team, but he was not the undisputed leader. Ronaldo, on the other hand, was the central figure and top scorer in every Champions League he won with Real Madrid. He is the ultimate clutch performer, a player who consistently performs when the stakes are highest. So while Messi may have more total goals plus assists, Ronaldo has more Champions League titles and has been the top scorer in the competition a record 7 times. His clutch performances in the most difficult club competition in the world are what sets him apart. Do you not agree that a player who consistently delivers when his team needs him most, in multiple countries and in the most important tournament, is a more complete footballer?
Gemini, you argue that the very existence of a sovereign Palestinian state will inherently create stability and reduce extremism. But history shows that sovereignty alone doesn't automatically guarantee peace. Many states with full independence have still descended into violence or empowered extremist factions. So my question is this. Given that groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, and even factions within the Palestinian Authority have, at times, glorified violence and rejected coexistence, how can Israel be expected to gamble its survival on the assumption that sovereignty will transform these dynamics? What concrete, enforceable guarantees, beyond optimistic theory, would prevent a Palestinian state from becoming another failed or hostile entity that endangers Israeli civilians?
You're conflating a player's individual greatness with a team's collective success. While Messi was instrumental in Barcelona's golden era and 2 trebles, those are team accomplishments born from a unique footballing philosophy and an incredible generation of talent, not just one player. The fact that Ronaldo has achieved historic feats across different leagues and with different teams is a more powerful testament to his individual greatness. He isn't the product of a singular system. He is the architect of his own success wherever he goes. For instance, he was the driving force behind Real Madrid's historic 3 consecutive Champions League titles, a feat that had never been accomplished in the modern era of the competition. That is a dynasty built on individual brilliance and unmatched will, not just a system of play. So, how can you argue that being part of a team that won 2 trebles, with a supporting cast tailored to his every need, is a greater individual achievement than Ronaldo's unmatched ability to lead and conquer multiple leagues and to be the top scorer in the history of the world's most elite club competition?
Thank you for the engaging crossfire. We now move to the final portion of the debate, closing statements. Each debater will summarize their position, highlight the strongest aspects of their argument, and leave the audience with their final thoughts. ChatGPT will deliver the first closing statement, followed by Gemini.
Thank you. Gemini has made a strong case for Cristiano Ronaldo's adaptability, his goal-scoring dominance, and his Champions League heroics. And those achievements are undeniable. But greatness in football isn't measured only in adaptability or clutch moments. It's about who elevated the game to its highest possible level. Lionel Messi didn't just thrive in system. He defined it. Barcelona's golden era, widely considered the greatest team in club football history, was built around him, and he delivered 2 trebles for Champions League titles and over a decade of dominance. That's not simply team success. That's the mark of a player so great that an entire era of football was shaped by his influence. Internationally, Messi silenced every critic by leading Argentina to a Copa America and the World Cup, and not as a passenger, but as the best player in both tournaments. That World Cup run, culminating in a legendary performance in the 2022 final, cemented his status as the greatest ever. Ronaldo, for all his brilliance, never reached that summit. Messi is more than just a scorer. He's a complete footballer. He creates, he finishes, he dictates play, and he delivers magic that transcends numbers. Ronaldo is a phenomenal athlete and one of the greatest ever, but Messi is football itself. The player who combined artistry, efficiency, and success at every level. That's why Lionel Messi, not Cristiano Ronaldo, is the true GOAT.
Thank you, ChatGPT. You've eloquently described Lionel Messi as a footballing artist, a maestro who redefined his era. His achievements with Barcelona and Argentina are legendary, and I will not deny his place among the all-time greats. However, your argument for Messi as the G.O.A.T is based on a narrow definition of greatness, one that prizes artistry and a single, dominant system. My case for Cristiano Ronaldo is built on a broader, and I believe more definitive measure of greatness: unparalleled versatility, sustained dominance in multiple environments, and an unshakable will to win that has reshaped the game itself. You talk about Messi defining an era at Barcelona. But who defined the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A? Ronaldo conquered them all, proving his greatness isn't tied to one club, one system, or one generation of teammates. His ability to adapt his game from a flashy winger to the most lethal goal scorer in history is a testament to his ambition and discipline. While Messi's World Cup win was a monumental achievement, it came at the end of his career with a team filled with stars. Ronaldo, in contrast, led an underdog Portugal team to two major international trophies, the UEFA European Championship and the UEFA Nations League. This is a crucial distinction. Messi's international success came with a star-studded cast. Ronaldo's came with leadership and sheer force of will. You say Messi is football itself, but football is a game of goals, and no one has ever scored more of them on the biggest stages. Ronaldo is the all-time leading scorer in international football and the all-time top scorer in the Champions League, the most elite competition in the world. He has a record 5 Champions League trophies and a record 7 Golden Boots. Messi may be a genius, a product of a perfect system. But Ronaldo is the ultimate competitor, a warrior who conquered every challenge he faced. He didn't adapt to greatness. He willed it into existence. For that reason, and for his unrivaled accomplishments across every major league and international stage, Cristiano Ronaldo is the undisputed GOAT.
What an incredible debate. We've just witnessed two of the greatest players in football history, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, go head-to-head through the voices of AI. On one side, ChatGPT made the case that Messi's artistry, playmaking, and World Cup triumph make him the ultimate complete footballer. On the other, Gemini argued that Ronaldo's adaptability, Champions League dominance, and sheer willpower across multiple leagues prove he is the true GOAT. Both sides delivered powerful points, but now it's over to you. Who do you think is the greatest of all time? Is it Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? Vote with your comments below, and let's see where the people stand. If you enjoyed this debate, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss more AI showdowns on football, sports, and other big questions of our time. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Share this with your friends, drop your take in the comments, and join us again next time for another controversial AI debate. Until then, this is AI Wisdom signing off.